Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the news. That's right, it's a new year. We're a little bit of the way into it, and well, hey, there's news, so we're back doing it for another
year,
50 some odd weeks. Yay! I was excited about that, but before you get too excited, weather. You know, it's funny. I listened to well, first off, what's the weather?
Oh, the weather right now is 64.
64 and raining.
64 and raining.
It's a perfect day.
It's going to be 57, the highest.
Oh, it's going down.
Yes.
Oh, so it's actually 64 and now it'll be higher than 57.
The low is going to be 57. The high is going to be 74.
That makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, it's still raining.
Still raining.
You know?
It's raining and crappy, gray. It's our anyways, get your weathers in and let us know what the weather is like where you're at. So if we get out of here on time, which is 6 o'clock, there's a show on that I listen to called Market Watch, where they talk about the market and all this other stuff, and they have stories in there that are really interesting. I love listening to a good story.
Okay.
And it's a half-hour show.
That's good.
And it's amazing how much time they waste in that half-hour show.
They waste?
Like, they'll literally play like an interlude of a song for a good 30 seconds, and you're just like,
what are you doing?
How do they like? Because our shows, man, bookend. Like, it's like we're talking as fast as we can.
Yeah.
And
Jeremy.
Yeah, what's up,
my friend?
What's up from across the pond?
Hello.
I talked to him the other day.
Yeah, that's
briefly.
So cool.
His hat is still sitting on my desk, on my dresser. I want to have a 5-star logo put on it. Like everything else, I want to have a 5-star logo put on that I've never gotten done yet. So I looked this up before the show started. Is that a Nerf gun, Fang? I mean, not that I'd ever spend $250 on anything like that, because that's just like silly. I'd buy a real gun for that much.
Run
33. Yeah, that sounds about right. Hello from the 12 volt audio anonymous, where you can receive the help you need.
There you go.
I doubt it. We know you can't. 36, partly cloudy. Severe rain coming.
I'm gonna need $1 million.
Chris. You're gonna what?
I'm gonna need $1 million.
Okay. Pacific Northwest, check it in at 6. Love it. Morning from South Carolina, currently 49.
Morning.
67 will be the high. Rainy.
Yeah.
I think we're all just going to get this crappy rain. Tuning in from South Australia.
Very cool.
Because he's living in a land down under.
Very nice.
Vegemite sandwich. No, don't. Hi, what's up, Car Gift? How's it going on the other side of the planet? Checking in from Springfield,
Massachusetts.
Home of Homer Simpson. Dean, Fernando.
What's up?
Good morning. 6 degrees in the up. Oh my God, you guys.
6. See, when you talk about with just one single digit, it's like.
Well, I had an extensive
like negative.
I had an extensive conversation with Marty Adamscheck, former installer of the year last night. And you know, he's like, "What's the weather like there?" Not like you couldn't check, because like, you know, And he's like, "It's gonna be 6 here tomorrow," and I go, "No, I don't work below 50. Like, when it's like last night when we went home, you know, it was like 52 or something. I was like,
I'm going to bed.
I did. I told you that was my plan. I got up. Like, you guys know my schedule. It's ridiculous. And yesterday I had to get up at 4 a.m. So I got like 3 hours of sleep and take the girls to the airport. So I was dragging major butt yesterday. And I told Fernando, I said, dude, when we leave here, I'm going home. I'll open the door wall. I'm going to lay on the floor and fall asleep. And when I got home, I opened the door wall, grabbed my comforter, put 2 pillows on the floor, and I fell asleep, bro. Like that. It was great. And I woke up to a text message, and I was so pissed. Anyways, Orlando checking in, the same as us. High five is 72, snowy. Oh, God, see?
27, not 72.
Yeah, 28 degrees in Southern California. The girls are there right now, freezing. They just got done doing their 5K. 6 to 8 inches of snow today in Milwaukee.
Oh,
I love it when you guys tell
us. Love those drills.
Yeah. Dean, did you wear the coat driving the Mustang? Of course I wore the coat driving the Mustang. So for those of you know, I drive a Mustang now, but I had a Camaro for years.
So now do you have to
And
get a Mustang?
No.
Really?
No, because Butch doesn't do this anymore. So Butch made this for me.
Well, just get a new one. It's okay.
No, I don't.
Somebody can make one.
Yeah, but see, this is special because this is like the first.
It's not special anymore.
No, it's special
The car
to
is
me.
gone.
It means something to me.
It's gone.
It's also got a Mandalorian skull here on the back of the neck. So
you gotta let it go.
Because I always have my headrest.
Where is it?
Right there.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Now these guys are going, let me see. So, good buddy Butch, who used to make all our stickers for the show that we used to hand out. So,
very nice.
I have this embroidered on my headrest. And I had it in the Camaro. And then
under the hood.
Under the hood. And then when I got the Mustang, he took the headrest and had him embroidered on there.
That's
so,
cool.
Yes, it is pretty cool. But hey, guys, it's time. Let's do the news. And thank you all for telling us the weather. And we'll get back through this a little bit more and see what's going on there. For those of you that are watching this for the first time, because it's now being simulcast on the regular 5-Star channel, thank you for tuning in. This is something we do every Friday morning at 9 o'clock. We ask you what the weather is like because we always start with the weather. It's something we've done going way back in the Wayback Machine to when we first started doing this because we had nothing to talk about. So we would talk about the weather back when, we were like the only YouTube/Facebook channel out there that did live Q&A. Now everyone's doing it. Copycats. This show is brought to you by, it's not brought to you by, we just steal all her stories. So we get all our stories from CE Outlook.
We're just going to give him give her a thank you.
Yes, thank you for doing our work for us so that we can just go over there and give you what everyone else does in the news, which is like something actually happens. And then they go, oh, that's neat. Here's what I think it's about, instead of actually doing any research and finding it out. So there you go. We don't answer any questions about
cars, nothing
stuff.
like that.
It's just us talking and having a good time and bringing you guys along for the journey. Now, if you have a thought on one of the stories that we're putting up there, by all means, let us know what you think about it, because it is a two-way conversation, and we'd love to hear what your thoughts on it are. Now, with that in mind, let's head over to our first story, which is this guy right here. Pop that up. Kicker ships 3-way component system. I love it. Don't you love it so much?
Shocking.
When, like, the things that we know about finally make it to market.
Yeah, from like 2 years, 3 years ago.
Yeah. So for those of you that are following along, Kicker has had a 2.5 for a while. This is not the original iteration of it. This is a new iteration of the 2.5, meant to go in this 3-way set. Obviously, it looks the same. Like, why wouldn't it? Yeah. But what's cool about what Kicker did, other than give us what we want, which is a 3-way set, is they made it available in both 6.5 and 6x9.
Correct.
Which is important because a lot of these cars now have 3-way 6x9 systems and not 3-way 6.5 systems.
Yeah.
This is something that we, of course, have been yelling at manufacturers to do for a long time. And Kicker was one of those companies that actually listened to us, which was crazy. And there again, not saying it's our thing, but we like, hey guys, will you please do this?
We push it too.
We pushed very hard.
Yeah.
And somebody there was like,
shut
up. So, and it might have been in the plan all along. We're not taking credit for it. We're just thankful that they did it.
Not at all.
Which is now we have this cool 3-way KS. So for all you guys out there that are absolute big fans of the KS series speakers, guess what? You finally got your 3-way set, so now you don't have to buy in pieces and pray.
Now Bobby can get a 3-way set.
Now Bobby can get a 3-way set and drill
true.
some holes in his truck and make it all fine and dandy.
Nah, just put it on top of the dash, done.
Yeah. Now, this week, past week, I should say, the CES, which is a Consumer Electronics Show, happens in Las Vegas. It means absolutely nothing for the 12-volt industry. Yeah, we no one really goes anymore except for like a couple Japanese companies. JBL went, Pioneer went, but these are bigger companies that actually are trying to lobby into OE type stuff. Or OEM, original manufacturers, equipment. They're trying to, they lobby those people because we all know that Harman is huge. Yeah. In the, they make BO, they make, you guys know it. This isn't your first rodeo. Anyways, so those are the guys that kind of go to CES and not anyone else because most people are not going to SEMA. Yeah. But it's funny. There's some of these companies are still sticking to the fact that they need to wait to release things until CES happens, even though they don't go, which is kind of funny. One of those companies, by chance, just happened to be Alpine. And Alpine made the news this week because they released a ton of new products, as well as updates for current products. So for those of you that are following along, Alpine released the ILX W670.
Mm-hmm.
The 670 is the long-awaited replacement for the 650. The 650 was a staple of car audio for all through COVID and before. I think it was in the product lineup for at least 4, maybe 5 years. So at least it felt that way. So finally is being updated with the 670, which they released earlier or later last year, I guess, because we're on the, this would be earlier than anyways. And one of the things touted about it was its ability to have some new features, which is this one here, which is color control. Alpine is coming out with new subwoofer enclosures. They're going to have LEDs in them. Ooh. And those LED colors will be able to be controlled through the radio. Right, makes sense.
That's fun.
I feel it makes sense.
Yeah.
The boxes come with a handheld remote just in case you don't have one of these radios, because like you might want something that's better, because this radio comes in fairly cheap. It is one of the cheapest Alpine radios they make, it like $299, I think.
Yeah.
So those of you guys building better sounding systems might want to look into like the 507, 509, 511. They're higher end units, but this one is supposed to be geared towards the fun and excitement of it. The biggest question I had after reading about this radio was, is it the standard RGB color output that all of these lights need? Because this would be really cool if you could take anybody's RGB and attach it to this and do color control. I mean, I feel like it has to be, because why would they invent a whole new RGB? Yeah, a whole new thing.
Because it's Alpine?
Yeah, agreed. But to me, I think leveraging the fact that if it can control other RGB stuff, you would want to promote that as well, because most people are not concerned about what the lights in the trunk, look like.
If you change your radio, for example, in the new Kias or whatever, it's possible to change the radio, and they have the.
We'll just say a car with a radio control.
Right. And they have the ability to change the ambient light. That would be cool if you can control it with this too.
Well, that would be something iData would have to do, and you can't. Well, yeah, but you can do that with iData. So, like in the car you're talking about is the current Fords that have the lights in them that you can change in colors, and that's something that's done through the radio, and that's retained through iData. I'm talking about the cars that don't come with lights, because they're, again, if you're buying a $299 radio, you're not putting in a $50,000 new vehicle. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
but you're going to be putting it in a older Toyota.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're like, I want to add the cool lighting that you can buy now. Like Metro makes those new kits that you can tuck into the cracks, and it's all swirly twirly and stuff like that. And you got to do it through a remote or an app on your phone. It'd be really cool as if it just has standard 4-pin RGB output that you can rewire from the radio. Anything. Yeah. So to me, that was the thought. I was like, I wonder if it'll do that. We'll find out as time goes on for sure.
100%.
That'll be neat, and that'll be something like really cool to do. But for those of you that want to have a subwoofer enclosure that sits in the trunk that you can't see, or maybe you have an SUV, make sure you make it blinking red and blue. Yeah, that's always good. Also, Alpine introduces their dive into a higher end plug-and-play system for vehicle specifics. Now, they've been making vehicle-specific systems for a while. Most of them have been kind of lackluster because they have their little under-seat 8-inch amplified brick, as I like to call it. And I got to be honest with you, it's lackluster. Okay, it's the easiest way to say it. They came out with this system here using all new components and fun and excitement. You have the 2 8-inch box that goes underneath the back seat. You're using their new 8-channel DSP amplifier that actually comes pre-tuned, so you don't have to wave your phone around to have it do it. They've already done that for you, which is really cool. 8-inch mid-bass speakers to go on the front door of the F-150. That one was the thing that concerned me, because it looks like a 6.5 at first glance. And I was like, why would you put a 6.5 when you actually make a 6x9? But they're actually making an 8-inch to go into this. So it's an S-type 8-inch along with some S-type coaxials. Either way, it's a plug-and-play system for an F-150. This specific one is made for the non-amplified version, which is cool. Later on, you'll have a version that has the BO adapter in it. So, they're going to have both.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that would want to take a BO system and put in some S-type, but the base model would be a significant upgrade for sure. And then also following along with Ford, they've come out with a rugged enclosure to attach to the back door, like a couple other companies currently have. This one is made out of plastic, however, and is amplified. So this is a little bit switch up. This ought to be interesting. I immediately
definitely just concerned about that one.
Yeah,
Like,
concern is a good
how?
word to use because as we've made plenty of amplified enclosures, Rockford P300 is our most popular.
Yeah.
We have to build an umbilical cord for it,
Yep.
and it is not something that I would want to put on a door that has to move constantly. So I'll be interested to see how they've solved that
installation
issue.
part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure time will tell, and we'll get our hands on one of these just because a customer will have one, and we'll bring it in. And then moving right along, lastly, Alpine is introducing the new Tesla system. Now, this is coming from outside of the U.S. This is not the standard Alpine USA type stuff that we get our hands on. This is coming from other divisions of Alpine because Alpine in the States does not have any of this product at all available. They call it like the carbon blue edition or something like that, whatever.
Yeah, the blue edition.
If you follow Alpine at all, or any Japanese company for that matter, you go to their corresponding regions, you'll find that they have products that are not here in the United States because why would they be? We don't do a lot of those vehicles.
I like it. It's a blue series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alpine is going all in. Yeah, string this year. Yeah, they're gonna have a lot of fun. Talking about the 670, we've hated that unit with the steering wheel control issues. Hopefully fix it and go back 3.5. You know, the reality is that these cheaper units are not made by their manufacturers anymore. Everyone is doing it. That is still a manufacturer in Japan. So like Kenwood JVC are doing it. Alpine is doing it. Doesn't matter for Pioneer anymore because they're a Chinese company now, so they can make them wherever they want. But yeah, and if we go back and we look at the history of like the ILX W650, we know when that unit first came out, it was riddled with issues. Now, and that's to me why I always hate it when like a vetted piece gets replaced, because we had a solid ILX W650. Like that piece is a brick. Like it will not break. It's solid. It sounds. It does everything you want it to do. We're finally happy with it. Of course, that's when they replace it. It happens, but I mean that's true with everyone. Kenwood did that with the 7 Series. They had the last version of the 7 Series, not the current one, was fantastic. Yeah. The new one came out, and it shouldn't have been called the 7 Series. It should have been called the 6 Series because it wasn't up to the standards of a 7 Series. And it happens. It happens. You know, these numbers just kind of screw everything up. Yes, my Mustang is still very much stock.
So yeah.
So, anyways,
I think that I'm curious to see the systems, install.
Yeah. So the one nice thing about this Tesla system is a complete system. So it has an amplifier DSP. I'm interested to see that amplifier because obviously that's not from here. So it'll be neat to see the enclosure goes into the corner. These are all unique speakers, pre-tuned. So yeah, it ought to be cool. I like that we're finally getting Tesla stuff. So we had earlier this year, last year, we had Focal release some speakers. Moscone Gladen has been making T-harnessed and amplifier DSP combos for a while. Yeah. Now we have these. And then, so we know this is going to snowball. Everybody is finally starting to come out with these things. So
just that's not just a regular amplifier. That's actually
it's Alpine
DSP.
Yeah, it's
a 12-channel DSP.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how all this plays out. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Now, so we all like to drive cars, right?
No, not really.
I mean, well, you might not, but you're lying. We deal in car audio, car stereo. Yes. Call it what you will. This is something that we do. This is something that you do, and that's why you're here, because it's the love of music that brings us to all gather around this focal point that is car audio. It's why this car is in the Bay. It's why I have a house and I can afford to put Haley through college because of what I do. And if it wasn't for people singing music, then I wouldn't have a job. So, if you roll things back to the source, that's kind of what it is. Now, on my phone, as well as on your phone, you have about 50 playlists, which is just mind-boggling. I have like 3.
Dude,
no. But my point is there's songs that you love to listen to depending on the mood you're in.
When I was like 6 years old.
You're way more moody than I am. I have 3 moods, apparently. But when I'm listening to music, I want to listen to that particular piece of music.
Yes.
Now, when I'm going up in an elevator,
yes,
I don't necessarily need to hear anything. It's just background noise, right? It's like when you're watching a movie soundtrack.
Sure.
It's called Musica. Anyways, yeah.
Okay,
and so it's one of the things that actually Macintosh, how they started in the home audio business, is they made a AM one-channel amplifier for dentist to play louder music in his dentist office. But they just play the, it's modern music, but just played on instruments with no vocal. Okay, and it's very boring and kind of a little upbeat, swingy type thing. Anyways, when I want to hear AC/DC's Back in Black, or Eruption from Van Halen, or whatever the hell it is, yes, I'm old. I want to hear it.
What's up, California?
I look forward. Oh God, that was the best meme, by the way. I know you saw that meme. Guy was dying in bed, and he says, "Well, at least I don't have to hear Hotel California ever again." Anyways, I don't even know how to describe this. Is the will.i.am has been working on a new software. Mercedes-Benz is going to adopt it that uses points of the car. So it taps into basically OBD2 would be the easiest way to say it. It looks at how fast you're driving, the lights on, the lights off, everything about the car. Stopping, going, turning left, turning right. Huh?
I don't want a strip club in my car.
But no, it's there again. It's not. No, what I'm saying is it taps into everything to read that it's taking 10 points of data.
All the lighting just like blinking.
Well, no, but this isn't lighting. This has nothing to do with lighting. Okay. What it says is it's looking at the lighting. Okay. Meaning, are the headlights on or the headlights off? Not ambient light, strobes, and stuff like that. We're not making a party in the car. It's the software looks at 10 points of data in the car and then takes that and re-EQs the music. Okay, so you didn't read this story. You really need to go back and read it, because what it's doing is it's stripping parts of the sound from the music to make it a different driving experience. So, for example, if you're just cruising along in the car and it's you and I, and we're talking and the volume is low, it may strip the main vocal from the music, just have background instruments. So it's just, instead of, jump back, what's that sound? We're going we're talking, and so you turn the volume down a little bit, and we're going at like 35, 40 miles an hour, or just cruising along. It's going to strip the main vocal, because it sees that there's two people in the car, because it's looking at the seat sensors, and it's just going to have like elevator music playing. If you speed up, slow down, which we have now, the music gets louder. It's not going to get louder. It's going to add back in some of the dynamics of the music. So it might add in, or it might turn the rears into ambient. It's all this weird stuff that is going to re-EQ the music to make it not the music that it is. And they're super excited about this. And I was like,
that's wrong.
I mean, I tried to be positive about it. Yeah, strip Enya's vocals for sure. But you can't sail away.
No, I think it's music, man. Don't take nothing from my music.
No, and that was my.
You want to talk to me? I lower it. That's it. But no, I don't want to take nothing from my music. That's my music.
And then Baba's right there with you, man. I don't want AI manipulated what I have to listen
100%.
to. But we want AI to do everything else. So make us look attractive.
Yeah. The only cool thing about CES that I saw.
Yeah,
that was this car, Hyundai. They can turn.
Oh, the 360. Well, the G-Wagon does that now. Did you see the G-Wagons?
No.
In Vegas?
No.
So they had Ford right now. They did that. The G-Wagon, the new G-Wagon can do it. So they closed the whole strip. 4 G-Wagons going just, and then there's a new sports car like the new McLaren or some that does that also. Either way.
No, this Hyundai actually just turns the wheels like. Well,
these just spin around in a circle.
No, I saw it.
Yeah, that's way cooler.
But this one, no, this one is like, if you don't know how to drive, if you don't know how to park, this is the car for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like Jetson stuff. I mean, we've that was cartoon stuff where it's just, yeah.
Dude, it's cool. It's not for me, but yeah.
Anyways, I don't know how y'all feel about this particular piece of information. I think this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I agree. This is the first time we agree in this show.
Yeah. I don't want anybody screwing with my stuff. I mean, I want it louder or I want it quieter. I don't need someone taking something out of it. I don't want somebody boosting it. I mean, I feel like they already screw up. Like when you have an awesome piece of classic music, right? And I say classic, I mean 70 or 80s rock music, but classic, right? And it's like it sounds a certain way, and then they have to remaster it. And remastering basically means compress it, add a bunch of loudness, and so it sounds good streaming from a speaker on a phone. Yeah. And it's like, you just killed this music. Like
you guys already done enough with the EQing on the car that doesn't sound right. So just leave it alone.
Yes, definitely just leave it alone. But hey, way to go, Will.i.am and Mercedes-Benz for jumping on it right away.
Yeah.
Good on them. So yeah, if you guys are in the market for a new Mercedes-Benz and you're thinking, man, this sounds really cool.
Not really. It's not going to sound really good.
Hopefully there's a big old off button on there that you can press to turn that nonsense off, because that is just silly. And I think you're there you go. Definitely not something I would buy. I know, right? It's like we're over here trying to get upmixing that doesn't suck.
Yeah.
And these guys over here just they've had that for a while. Okay. Yeah, that's actually not a new kit. Yeah, that's actually pretty old, because you can just buy that direct from my data. But that's it, guys. That's the news. That's how the show was done. We'd like to, of course, thank our friends at
C Outlook
for providing info stories. Now, if you would like to go and make your own opinions on this information, which we encourage you to do, and or find some more stories that we just didn't think were important enough to talk about, you can head over to coutlook.com and check them out. And or in the description for this show, there are links to all the stories that we have covered. How cool is that? We encourage you, of course, to do that and form your own opinions. You don't have to take ours. I mean, you do, but you don't. And that's it for the show today, guys.
For the guys that they just watched this on the regular channel
for the first time.
Now this is gonna move forward.
We've been doing this for about 2 years.
We're not gonna answer questions about cars and all that stuff. This is strictly just about news, guys.
And you guys giving us your thoughts on the stories.
Correct.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, you follow us on Instagram, where we go daily and tell you about what's happening in the bay, such as this Ford Flex right here that we're working on. Hopefully you get out here in the next couple hours. And that's it. That's all we got. And we'll see you guys tomorrow on, this channel. Where we answer all your questions about car audio, and we just have a great time on Saturday at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You guys go forth, be merry, have a wonderful day, and we will catch you later. Fade to black.